We're talking about body shots. I want you guys hucking in body shots, having confidence to throw them, because not only does it increase your boxing skill level, like switching heights is so darn good, it is so much nicer in sparring to hit somebody to the body and not worry about concussing them. So let's talk about everything body shot related. Before we get going on the body shots, I want to remind everybody that XMARTIAL is a partner of this channel, and I am decked out in them today. Rash guard, shorts, awesome gear. It just seems to keep going and going. I've worn this to jiu-jitsu and in training camps so many times, and it looks brand new. No give. It's just amazing gear. I have a link down below where you can save yourself 10% if you use that promo code Gabriel Varga. So I brought Bob back out mostly because I was just feeling a little stagnant on the channel. I'm like, I need something to get me excited to film, and getting him back in the mix gives me something to hit, which is always more fun than hitting air. But it's a lot easier to get you guys excited when I'm able to hit something and show you actual technique as opposed to just midair. So we're talking about body shots. And like I said before the intro, it's great to get into sparring, have somebody who's going a little bit hard, and just keep them in check by not concussing them to the head or breaking their nose, but just slipping on the inside and just slowing them down. It's one of the reasons that I got so much confidence in my body shots, because I started doing it in sparring all the time to just slow the pace down when somebody was trying to KO me. So the very first thing that I want you guys to recognize about going down to the body is when we switch levels, most people lose confidence in continuing to throw because they feel exposed, because they get countered more often. So we need, first of all, right away to find a solution. How do we avoid getting countered so easily? When we're up here, we feel like, oh yeah, I can throw 4 punches. If I asked you to come in and go 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd probably look at me like I'm crazy. So number one, it doesn't need to be head or body. Start with a head shot and then go down to the body, or lead with the body up to the head, or even better, up here, down there, up there. Mix up levels. It could just be one body shot. That sometimes is enough. I love throwing 2 at a time, but if you just get the one off, that's fine. So first thing, when we throw at head level, let's say for a hook, see how my shoulder's really high, but then when I drop down here, my shoulder lowers? So what you want to do is try to avoid that unless you've got lots of confidence in your body shots. I'm not going to go 1, 2 with my head wide open. I'm going to come 1, 2 and stay low and still keep that shoulder shrugged up. That's a great way to protect yourself. And you should already have that other hand up. So now instead of feeling like, oh, I'm like this, you check your technique, and now you feel a little bit more snug. Alternatively, quick exits are what I love. So if I come in here and I slam my jab up and I hit the body, instead of being like, okay, I gotta stay here, just pull your head out of the way really quick. 2 long shots, 1, 2, and I get out fast. That's a great way to save yourself from getting countered, because people have to block here and then fire back. And I can tell you from experience, once you hit here, just drawing back either with the foot or just getting your head first and then your foot after, or even a double foot bounce, you're gonna beat the person who's trying to throw that counter almost every time. Now, body shots, like I said, they're so fun, but what are some great ways to set them up and not feel like, oh, every time I do it, I'm getting tagged for it? Let's just go through a couple of the basics, some of my favorites. So the very first one that I want us to focus on right now is just throwing a simple double jab up to the head. And it doesn't really matter if this is, really like hitting the person hard, or I'm just distracting them. Just hitting their guard, getting those hands up. So for me, from here in sparring, double jab, coming to the body cross and getting that quick exit is almost a surefire way to at least land a little bit. And you'll note that my head comes off the center line. On the first 2, head stationary. I'm just looking for those arms to raise up and those feet to plant. 1, 2, and then head off the center line, either by shifting the weight to the side or very simply stepping with my foot. And then I don't have to worry about bending. Either one of those is fantastic. Safe way. You don't have to go on this one and commit too much, because you can keep lots of distance. It doesn't have to be here, long, and then that nice exit. And if for some reason during this double jab, you're like, no, it's not a good time, then don't force it. Never force a body shot. Let it happen in the moment. The next one that I really want to show you guys for simple ways to land, remember we're not going complicated right now, just simple ways, is to come off a jab cross into the body hook. But I'm going to give you some fine details here, what really helped me land this more when I was in those sparring classes trying to learn this. Because obviously, like I said at the beginning, you step in 1, 2, your shoulder's a little low, you get tagged. Or you forget your quick exit, you get tagged. But we can get some more stuff happening. The very first thing was speed between these two punches. What is the time between my jab and my cross? If I kind of go traditional timing, like 1, 2, 3, that steady beat, I found that I was giving them enough time to see the shots and that transition down to the body, and it wasn't working great. So I sped up my jab cross. Instead of 1, 2, 3, it's more 1, 2, 3. Really quick on the first two. From here, and now they're really distracted. Those two hands in their face really made it hard for them. And then I come around. And a lot of times people have elbows tight at that point. They've gone from here to here. So coming with a narrow body hook is not going to work. So I come really far and around. 1, 2, 3. And you can see how my arm is long. So I don't have to worry that even though I'm throwing straight punches, I can't reach the body. I can still reach 1, 2, right to there. And never compromise your head. Never let your head go 1, 2, you have it nice and strong, and now on the third you tip it. If anything, it's 1, 2, and then back to the center. On that body hook, have that weight structured up. So I step in, pop up, and then unload down to the liver for the finish. Easy way to land. Yes, it takes some confidence. Yes, you have to try it out a few times, but when you do get it, it feels so good, and it's hard for other people to stop. Next one I want to show you. We're just getting through these really quick. And if you're still struggling, by the way, you're still struggling with these things, you're going, shoot, I need some eyes on me. I need somebody to be watching me because something's just not clicking. I have started offering some Zoom privates again. You can look down in the description. There's a link there. This is not available all the time and the spots get snatched up really fast. But I had enough people recently message me saying, Gabriel, I really need to get in with you to have some help over Zoom. So I opened up some spaces and there's a few more left right now as well. So you can jump on that if you want. So the next one that we're going to talk about is the no setup body shot. This one is actually surprisingly effective. You're out here, your hands are up, you just step straight in. And as long as you don't go straight, so if I'm standing here, I don't just go straight down the middle, because that's going to make me eat a cross or a jab. As long as I don't do that, it is actually quite safe. But if you walk straight in, you're going to get nailed right in the face. So how do I stop myself from moving straight in? You may be thinking, like, am I supposed to go around? No. You just go from this stance, you take a step to here. Never cross your legs, that won't work. But if your stance is wide enough, you naturally have that sort of shoulder width stance, then you can take a step across and just end up into sort of that bladed stance. So I can be right here, I pull my hand down, but as I do that, I'm dropping my weight a little bit and then straight in. Move around, sure I could flick some shots out, step, boom. And the head comes off the center line simply because I step across. See, I go from here to here. It works well. Other hand really high, of course. There is a risk on this one because you do have to drop a little bit. But in my experience, this one actually does work. And it's frustrating for this guy. Because as soon as they say movement, you start coming towards them. Most people just go, oh. But if you sneak it under there, it's unpleasant. Now, I know many people are always like, whoa, what does a liver shot feel like? Where should I target? Let's just talk about that for a split second. I've never actually been hit with a shot where I feel it in the liver, but I've heard many people do, and it is debilitating, like wrecks you. But you don't need to be so set on, okay, do I need to land here or back here? Any of those. Like, I have dropped people with all angles. So I don't have to be so set on, oh, what's happening with the angles, where do I need to throw? Base it all off where this guy's elbow is. His elbow's here. he's got this arm cocked back a little bit, you come a little bit shorter. If he's got his arm more neutral, you can come up the middle or around the side. If they're really tight like this, that's when you come around and behind. And that's the one that I personally find lands the best, because a lot of people will sit here, they think they're covered, and you sneak it around behind the elbow. Look at all that body there that's open. You land there, and I've had people drop and go, oh, the liver. And I've never been hit with it, so I don't know if that's true, if it's liver or if it's just the wind getting knocked out of them, but either way, it continues to be effective. One more combo for you guys today to finish off. On this one, I want us coming from the right round kick to the left body hook. And because we already learned about stepping across, this one is actually quite similar, but I love the angle change. I love the fact that we come boom, down, and then right into that, because the person has to transition from here, and then they'll generally come back to head level for protection, but they won't go down there. 1, 2 kind of feels awkward. So I slam in my kick, I drop, and then I double foot jump in. Right from here, watch that footwork. Drop down, spring. I'm not landing at the exact same time. I'm not like a bunny rabbit going both feet. It's kind of 1, 2, but it's very fast. Okay, so right from here, throw my round kick, boom, down, spring. That one is nice, and it throws people off. I can tell you from experience that that works really well. So there are some ways to set up some body shots. There's some talk in there about, oh, how can we avoid feeling like we're not growing with it, how like the mistakes that happen and you get thrown off. And I guarantee you, if you take some time, you eat some shots trying to learn these, because you will, I want to step in and throw a body shot, boom. And then if you go, oh, nope, never again. Yeah, you're not going to be any good at body shots. It'll never happen. So you do have to eat some shots. But if you keep those little tips that I gave you, shoulders up, quick exit, those sort of things, it'll help you a lot. Speed before you throw, boom, and then come down, really distract them. It's how I learned how to throw them. That's why I've been successful with them. So that's everything, guys. Thank you for joining me today. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.